The signal path in an analog studio is from the microphone through the cable into the wall box, through a multi-core under the panels on the floor into the desk, and then you route it to a channel. The microphone being used is an AKG C414, so when it goes through the desk I'll need to put phantom power through it as it is a condenser. The shortcut to making a new track is Command, Shift and N. I'm making one mono audio track going from input 5 on the wall box during the studio into input 5 on the mixing desk. I'm naming the track Radio and putting the make and model of the microphone into the comments box, so just in case if it gets sent to anybody else, they'll know what it's recording and what microphone was used to record it if they need to make any adjustments. As it's an analog desk, you'll need to route the signal, so it's going in input 5, so you press number 5 and 6, and then at the bottom of the channel pan you turn it left as it is an odd number. You do this as turning the pan to the left allows the signal to go from the desk into Pro Tools to be recorded. This new console is slightly different to older analog consoles such as the MTA 990 and 980 in that it doesn't have a mute, it has an on and off on each channel, and for this you'll need to switch the channel on and the fader. So switching the on the channel at the top and on the faders, you then put the 48 volts for the condenser microphone and turn up the gain, which is the blue knob, on the channel so you can see the level coming through, and then you add gain with the red one. And as this desk is new, it is a quite hot desk, so you may need to put a pan on, which is what I just done there. And then you can turn up the gain some more so it's a clear, undistorted sound. And then once your level is clear around the yellow mark, you can then turn up the fader to unity, turn up the red master fader, and then turn up the master for the speakers. As I now have signal coming through the main left and right speakers, I can then set up a headphone mix. For this I shall need a XLR cable with an XLR connector on one end and a headphone adapter on the other. And I shall connect the XLR component into QAmp1. On this desk, the headphone mix is already entered into the AB auxiliary send. Here I just turned up the AB auxiliary send masters, and I am now just turning up the send on the actual track to send into the headphones. And I am now just turning down the main left and right speakers so as you can hear the headphone mix. That's right. Really? As I now also have this going through the headphones, it is now time to set up a compressor. It's sending a part of the signal from the output of the channel into the input of the URI, which is a compressor, out of the output of the compressor into the input back onto the channel. Changing any of these knobs or buttons changes how the end product will sound. So changing the input will change how much of the signal is going into it, and the output how much is coming out of it. and the lever in the VU meter in the box shows how much the signal is being compressed by. To add reverb, you go from auxiliary sends from a patch bay into the inputs of auxiliary equipment 13 and 14, and out of the outputs of auxiliary equipment 13, 14, into the line level inputs on 23 and 24. This is just an empty channel. To be able to hear it now, you'll need to add it into the mix, which is the left and right routing buttons at the top, and at the bottom, panning it hard left and hard right. You then need to turn up the auxiliary masters for auxiliary sends 1 and 2, and then switch on the faders, and then turn up the faders to 0. Not many people use tape recorders anymore, but want to, because of the fact that it gives a warmer sounding tone to the song, as some people might think, but it is just personal preference. But just due to the actual cost of just the tape, some people find it really difficult to record onto tape, but some people, if they can afford to, will play it through the play and repo heads on the tape machine and then bounce it back into Pro Tools, so they'll still have that sound just without the cost of using multiple reels of tape. And some of the analog tape machine modulators that you can get on software, some people can't really tell the difference between the digital modulators and the actual analog tape machine because the quality between them is getting so close it's highly indistinguishable. The way the control room and the studio itself is built means that there's no parallel lines at all in the studio. This is to reduce the standing waves in the room, and even the glass panels that separate the studio and the live room are angled and each a separate distance and width so as to avoid any reflections going back into the room.